Is up, super fam and bro vengers alike? I am Sensei Finito, aka Vane Sensei, and welcome to Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture. We are here for season 2, episode 7 of none other than Peacemaker season 2. I've been having a really good time with this season, and I hope you guys have as well. If you haven't already, make sure you drop a like and a share on the stream because it helps out tremendously around these parts. Make sure you also let me know all your thoughts, all your theories, all your opinions about this season here. Drop all your thoughts, theories, and reactions and favorite moments from this season in the comment section down below. We're about to get into it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And that's why we're about to get into it, okay? I definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in with your boy today. This is not the season finale, not yet. We're almost there. It feels like we right around the corner from the season finale. And honestly, I think we are right around the corner from the season finale. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's get into it. I see you guys in the chat already. See you talking a little bit here and there. We're about to nerd out, brother. We're about to nerd out. I'm happy for this episode, man. Last week's episode was insane. We're definitely going to talk about that a little bit. Just straight nerding out. Any questions that you guys might have pertaining to the season or anything like that, let me know. I thought episode 6 was a freaking banger, bro. Like, I think it gave us a lot of the answers that most of us were looking for. It kind of solidified some of the things that we already knew were probably gonna happen, maybe, sort of, kinda, you know what I mean? We got to get all of that out and ready to go. So that was super cool. That was awesome. I appreciated that. So I'm hoping that we get, some of those same vibes today, at the very least. What's going on? There we go. Bam. I'm trying to go live on TikTok as well. We just hit 1,000 followers on TikTok, yo. Much love to everybody there. Yo, I see you, Cool Monk. Thanks for coming through. Shout outs to you, my guy. I hope you're having a good day. Hope everybody's having a good day today. What's up with it, Pablo? How you doing? KD, what's up with it? Peacemaker, yeah. Superman cameo. I mean, technically, we've already got our Superman cameo. You feel me? At the beginning of the season, when they showed Superman and Supergirl coming to help instead of the DCEU Justice League, right? When they showed us that at the beginning, that was kind of our Superman cameo for this season. I'm pretty sure we might. If I'm not mistaken, it's all but confirmed that we won't be getting a Superman cameo, because I feel like I heard. I can never think of this dude's name that plays Lex Luthor, but I feel like I heard him say that David Cornsweat was a little jealous that he didn't get to be in Peacemaker in the same way that he got to be in Peacemaker. I'm pretty sure I heard something like that. I don't think I made that up. Let me know, chat. You think I made that up? Or do you think that's real? I feel like that's real for some reason. Nicholas Holt. That's his name. I can never think of bro's name. Open. There we go. All right, let's hope this does something. I heard Booster Gold episode 8. Yo, that would be crazy if we got Booster Gold in episode 8. I don't think that's gonna happen, but it's not impossible to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we'll see Booster Gold then, but we really might. If we see anybody, it would be Booster Gold in this multiversal type of story that we're in the middle of. I can definitely see how it would be Booster Gold, how Booster Gold could even come into the play here somewhere, somehow, some way. For real. I think I think that's what we're. I don't think we're gonna get Booster Gold if we do get anything, but I wouldn't be mad at Booster Gold. Yo, what's up with the derp? How you doing, G? What's your thoughts on people saying that James Gunn is virtue signaling? I don't know, bro. I think people are. I think people just be wilding when it comes to all of the James Gunn stuff and the stuff that James Gunn says and he does, and they really hold on to every single like word that bro says, literally. So there's always going to be those people that do that, uh, and they're not able to read between the lines or understand the nuance of a situation or something that a discussion that's trying to be had. I don't understand it, but I just know that people are definitely going to misconstrue the things that are being said or the things that are happening. Let's see. Bam. Let's talk about Peacemaker. Does anybody else have any thoughts or predictions or any questions? Okay. Let's see. So, episode 6, we had a lot of stuff happen in episode 6. It was a crazy episode last week. We were just we I won't say that we were vibing out cuz it wasn't really vibes, but we were vibing out until it wasn't vibey anymore. You feel me? It was crazy to see the way that Peacemaker just flat out was like, "Bro, I'm done with this not this society, but I'm done with everything that's going on here. I need to get up out of here. Take me on to somewhere better." And then the place that he picked that was better, it really wasn't better at all. Let's just be honest. He was like, "Yo," and I love how Harcourt is the one to see, like, okay, there's something obviously incorrect about this place that we're at. She basically is like, "Yo, I haven't seen one person of color since I got here," and then like literally Peacemaker is like, "Bro, what? You're tripping? No." But then they just see that the American flag is now replaced with, the schmatzi sign. You know what I'm saying? And that was crazy. That was wild. It was expected, but unexpected. And that's one thing that I can say when it comes to James Gunn, right? Is James Gunn is able to do this thing where even when we know that Earth X is most likely going to be the reveal, we still are like able to be surprised by the way it's handled or the way that it's tackled or whatever that case may be. There's a lot of as I've said before, there's a lot of other things around the conversation, and it's just pretty crazy. It's pretty cool to be able to see the way that it all plays out. I really do like this show. I've liked the show from the first season, and I think the second season capitalizes on things in a way that I did not expect it to. Even in the opening scene with the song, right? When we see Peacemaker, we see him in his suit and outside of his Peacemaker suit as well. Meaning that this season, we did not only follow Peacemaker, but we also got to know Chris better as well. And that's something that I really enjoyed, was that I guess these two seasons have done the exact opposite of what almost all of the Disney Plus shows do, in the meaning of with on the Disney Plus shows, like even if someone has their suit, they take it away from them so they can give it back to them. You know what I mean? And all these other things, right? They kind of stop them from being able to be that thing that they're trying to be in order for them to be able to like rebuild back up to that. I think it's lame that they do that. But I also think it's lame that we don't get to see the characters, right? We when that happens, we don't get to see like the hero. It just focuses on all these other things that we're not really here for. But I think with Peacemaker, they've done a pretty solid job of being able to do both of those things to where it's like, no, it's also balancing the act of his regular personal life and the issues that he has with his dad, the turmoil and the regret that he feels from the death of his brother, and all of these things that he has to deal with. But he's also still Peacemaker. You know what I mean? Like, still being Peacemaker. So, yeah, I'm interested in seeing what we get here. I'm interested in seeing what we get here, especially because everything's already been very different. Even the take on Earth X, right, is different because I don't even think they call it Earth X. I think James Gunn is on record calling it Earth 2. But it is just a similar version of Earth X as well, to where, you know, all of this other stuff happened so differently. And I like that, bro. I think that's freaking awesome, bro. I really do. I think that's freaking so cool that we're able to do all these different things, handle these deep conversations, but still keep it superhero-y and so on and so forth, you know? I'm not one of those type of people that is like, when I watch something and there's no action in an episode, I'm like, oh, this episode was terrible. Like, no, I appreciate the storytelling methods that include action and don't include action, because at the end of the day, I just want the narrative to be able to be understood, and I want the plot to progress, and that's something that I think we kind of get the best of both worlds with this show a little bit. Is we do get a good amount of action and we do get a good amount of humor, and all around, you know, it's just a very well-rounded show, but in the kind of a R-rated way. But I think in order to be truly well-rounded, you do have to kind of dip into a little bit of everything, and that's what this show does, pretty effectively. Is there two judo masters? That's a good question, Cool Monk. I don't, if there is another judo master, Judo Master is kept wherever all of the POCs in that universe are kept, because they clearly were like, yo, one got out in the last episode. So, you feel me? Like, stuff like that lets you know off rip that, yeah, it's going to be a little different here. I think we're going to see, I think there's going to be something between Keith and Augie. Someone will defend Chris. Oh, that's a good point, Anton. I like that. Or Anton. I like that a lot. No, I think it's Anton. I think that's a really good observation there, because in the regular DCU, in Peacemaker's normal universe, it's Keith that was kind of his protector and helped him, you know, when his dad was being a psychopath and was trying to beat him and all that stuff. It was his brother that was there, being his protector, being his shield from all of those darker things that were going on. So I could see in the same vein that happened here, but unfortunately, Economist has already straight up snitched the entire plot to Earth 2 Augie. You know what I'm saying? So since he's already snitched the entire plot, I don't think it's going to matter to Keith. It might matter to Keith, but I think it's going to probably matter to Keith more that a multiversal version of his brother killed his brother. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely going to be an issue for somebody. Like, that's definitely got to be an issue. Are you going to play it? I want to watch it too. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to play the entire episode from start to finish here on YouTube because, the YouTube gods will come through and ban the stream automatically. But what I will be able to do is pop the... What the what? No, close that. Bam. But what I will be able to do is pop the screen up every once in a while like that, let it play for a bit, and then it will have to disappear. You know what I mean? Because, as I said, the YouTube gods will come through and ban the stream as fast as they possibly can. So, with that in mind, I'll just be able to, show a little bit every once in a while here and there. Mostly the heavy moments that are happening, I'll be able to show. And then sometimes I might even give a little view peek like this just to kind of if some crazy shit is going down and to just kind of continue to switch stuff up. But mainly you're going to see it in this manner right here, unless again something huge is going down and I'm like, oh my god, look at that shit. That's the only way. Damn, I just remembered I don't have a lot of storage open on my PC. I hope I'm able to record this whole episode reaction without issues. Rumor has it that Chris Pratt will play the character because he was spotted on the set. The hardcore actress also lied about Earth X theory on a Brandon Davis podcast. Yeah, I mean, they're very specific and technical. James Gunn, and in no doubt his wife as well, because it's like it's technically Earth X, but it's also technically not Earth X. It's like, yes, it is Earth X, but it's also not Earth X because Earth X is definitely different. You know what I'm saying? But it is Earth X, but it's not. It's weird. He can't play the episode. Yeah. Thank you, Throb Dabalina. Throb Dabalina, huh? Which makes me wonder if the denied Superman cameo is also a lie. It could definitely be. That's very possible. That's very possible. Everybody could be lying about him showing up because they don't want to reveal it. Yeah, I did see the image of John Cena with Superman, but if I'm not mistaken, they recorded the movie and the show kind of at the same time and kind of on the same lot. So they were like basically right there in proximity. And when Nicholas Hoult did last week's episode of Peacemaker, it was actually like during the filming of Superman. So, yeah. So yeah, like that. It's a possibility, but it's more so like, no, that's not happening. That's kind of what's been the consensus so far. But as you said, everybody be lying. So. It is 6 o'clock on the dot. We are in the drop top, cruising the street, and it is time to get into the new episode of Peacemaker. I am so hyped and so ready to check this out, and I hope you guys are too. Now, as I said, I'm not going to be able to show this from start to finish because those YouTube gods will come through and hit us with the ban hammer. But what I am able to do is show you a little bit here, show you a little bit there, and then, we can kind of make the connections in between, okay? But it is time to get into, unfortunately, the shortest episode of the season so far. Like a Keith in the night. I am so juiced and so ready to get into this chat. On 3, we will press play and enjoy this episode together. 1, 2, 3.
Derry is a beautiful place.
All right. It is time to get into season 2, episode 7 of Peacemaker. This is no doubt going to be a good episode, but it is unfortunately the shortest episode of this season. So let's see what we're gonna get with this episode today, you guys. Yo, Nix, thanks for liking the live over there on TikTok. I appreciate you. Yo, Colton, thank you for the likes on TikTok. Appreciate it. We Spider-Man memed. Yo, already at 1K likes on the TikTok. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. Let's see what's about to happen in this episode. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's time to kill some Nazis. Oh. Books of Mind Comp, bro. This is insanity. I was so not ready for any of the things that are happening right now. All right, we are currently going into the dance sequence that the episode starts with. I'm going to let it run right here just so we can talk a little bit. I think we're kind of off to a crazy start. I'm happy that we kind of get to pick up where we left off. I'm really interested in how our hardcore is going to feel about Peacemaker sleeping with Earth X's hardcore, like, which is wild. I don't know if they're gonna mention that or not. The show is insane, so it might just breeze past that. You know what I mean? I this shit is gonna be crazy. Since it is 33 minutes long, that probably means this is gonna be a very action heavy episode, and it's gonna be focusing on a lot of things like that. Are you watching the episode? Yeah, what's up with it, MVP? We're watching the episode right now. We're what, like 4 minutes into the episode right now. Um There we go. The subtitles cracking off? Yeah, we do. Like a Keith in the Night, Chapter 7. Yeah, that's crazy. Nah, bro, of course about the. Okay, so they do have camps. Damn. Okay, Earth X is not. Oh shit. Two vigilantes fighting at the same time? Let's go. Poor economist. Oh! Get up! Run, girl! It's Judo Master! Let's go! Oh, they're all dead. They are all deceased. Do not pass go. Yo, was that a goddamn swastika pin on the croc? Oh, nice. Oh, that is the opposite of nice. Hell yeah! I know someone said that last week. I know someone last week said that they wanted him to bring the peace cycle through. Yo, make sure you guys drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. It helps out tremendously around these parts. Nazi Crocs is wild. Bro said you're like a human lie detector. Like, bro, you didn't even try to hold on to the lie, my boy. Oh, they don't even know about this stuff like that. Are we Earth X to them? Eagly does not give a shit about economists. Oh shit. Hey, that would be mad different. Anybody Anybody know about the Indian superhero? No, I'm not sure who you're talking about. Gunn's DCU doesn't reveal things in post-credit scenes. They do it within the movie. So since he did a car in the movie, I think the cameo is Green Lantern. That's a good point. Do they have hot Cheetos in this universe? That's crazy. I didn't think there was gonna be an answer. Judo Master is a little creepy. There's no way Eagly isn't like willfully ignorant. Anything I am is crazy. I wonder if you get like triple points for making a swastika with the letters. That was a crazy thing to say. Not them cruising with the wind blowing through their hair on a police chase, basically. Yo, this is insane. Diabolical. Oh! What the shit? Okay, is my theory correct about since he was evil in our universe that he's actually a good guy in this universe? All right, chat. Oh, it is Sydney. Interesting. Chat, am I high? Bro's voice was not like this. What the hell? That's all Brett had to do. Hmm. Damn. She cooked him. I keep forgetting bro's name is Rip Jagger. What a terrible name. Oh shit. She's such a good bruh. She's such a good character. He definitely didn't notice. Mm. So I'm thinking that they actually are. Bro, Economist sucks. Bro, Economist absolutely sucks, bro. Oh shit. Oh shit. I love this Aki high key. Like, Yo, look at Keith. Keith is on demon time, and I love it. Oh shit! Hey, they had to pull up with the police force because they knew they gonna make some shit damage. Okay, now this is what we need to happen. We need this universe's version of the Justice Gang to pull up so we can see what this universe's version of the Justice Gang looks like. Yo, they were so down to murder. Is Keith evil here? Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. DCU Keith isn't evil. DCU Keith is nice. He was actually protecting his brother. So this Keith is evil. Is Keith about to kill Augie? Oh my god. Oh no. He's about to die. Oh! Oh no! Oh my god! Oh shit! Damn. I didn't see this, bro. I did not see this happening in this way. Oh my god! What the fuck is happening? Damn! Holy shit! What a banger episode this has been. Bro, I would not be surprised if Mom Dukes pulled up. Damn, bro survived. Wow. Wow. Damn. You're under arrest for the possession of a dangerous scientific device. Only in the DCU could you get arrested for some quirky shit like that, bro. Like, what the fuck? Wow. 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 What a banger episode that was. I can't lie. That episode was crazy. Wow. I can't believe that was the shortest episode of the season. In no way, shape, or form did that feel like the shortest episode of the season. Literally, bro. Like, wow, that was a banger. I hella like that episode, chat. Let me know how you guys are feeling about that one in the comment section down below, bro. One's in the chat if you like that episode. Two's in the chat if you didn't. Three's in the chat if you're not sure how to feel.
You may want to turn around. I'm going to use my spare time here to get back on Pornhub. I'm about to drown this whole keyboard. Okay, your funeral. Showtime.
Nah, that's diabolical. That's diabolical. That was insane. Here we go.
Want to visit?
No, I don't want to see him.
Why?
Maybe because I'm the angel of fucking death.
That's a badass thing to say.
Door 22 is unlocked!
We're gonna find what we need in there. And everything we talked about is gonna come to fruition.
Do we even know what we're looking for?
Resources, new ground for overpopulation.
When has anything we've ever done actually been for the good of the people?
That was a crazy end. I'm not going to lie to you. That was a crazy a sneak peek for next week. Holy hell. Hey, this show, man. This show has been a freaking banger of a time, yo. What a banger of a time. We just got done watching Season 2, Episode 7, Like a Keith in the Night. And, man, when we started this episode, I was like, I can't believe this is the shortest episode. We're probably not going to see anything in this episode. Boy, was I wrong. We got a lot of stuff cracking off in this episode here. We got to get, some good vibes between Adebayo and what in the hell is bro's name? Judo Master, right? We got to see some good vibes between Judo Master and Adebayo. I really like that. I really love whenever we start an episode off right where we left off. And that's basically what we did here, right? Like, we literally start at the same point where she's like, yo, there's Mein Kampf on every table and a goddamn Hitler freaking poster in the middle of the room. Like, how are you not noticing that? And I love how Adebayo is like, yo, Chris is a dumbass. I'm pretty sure he didn't even know anything was going on around him. And all of that shit checks out so much, right? That all checks out. Crazy to be in this universe, yo. This was a crazy universe to be in here, for real, for real. And I love how, I've said it multiple times, but I love how this show is able to give us stuff that we know is going to happen, or things that we obviously know is going to be the next consecutive part to go down. Like, you know, we already know, like, those things are set there to go down in a certain way, and then it ends up going down that way, but they also put something completely different in it, so it's a complete twist on the entire notion of what we thought it was going to be. And that's 100% what has been going down in this season, and especially in this episode. We got some more information about the Sons of Liberty and how they fight back against their Nazi oppressors, because we find out that indeed the Nazis did win World War II in this version of Earth, and that shit is crazy. I don't know why that would have H's be at the end of all of their stuff. Like Cheetos has an H, Cheerios has an H. I don't know. I don't know why these things are connected, but it's really funny just to see what kind of world this world ends up becoming and what it ends up turning into. And I love the way that they used Vigilante as our kind of, I guess, chaotic good, or a chaotic neutral, but not chaotic neutral, but our chaotic good point. Even though they are so different from each other, like I don't think this version of Vigilante would be shooting up the other killing innocent people as much as the other one. But who knows? From the start, we kind of get this interesting feeling of what's going on as, you know, as we see Adebayo run away from all of these Caucasian people, all of these people from the mountain of Caucasus. You know, we see her trying to escape, and Judo Master ends up saving her. As Judo Master saves her, they have a good heart-to-heart with each other, and then, boom, they end up locking in, and, you know, kind of talking about some different stuff and things, and that's freaking awesome. I really like that. Hardcore Peacemaker escaped from Argus, and then they end up getting saved. Well, we end up seeing that what's going on with, you know, with Augie and with Keith, and when at this moment is kind of when I first got the notion of maybe this version of Augie and Keith are not exactly the same as our versions, you know, because in our world, Keith was a good guy and Augie was the dickhead. So it kind of makes sense for it to be something in the antithesis of that, or the exact opposite of what that is. And that is basically what we got. The one thing I love about this show is the consistency when it comes to characters. Like, Economist is consistently who he is. Eagly is even consistently an eagle who doesn't give a shit about anyone but himself, and Peacemaker, kinda. You know what I mean? Like, that is a good consistency to have with your characters. And they also do grow and they change still and all of that good stuff. But there's still a solid consistency across the board when it comes to the majority of these characters. And that's super cool. I thought it was hilarious how they really kind of were locking in on I've never seen her wear pants. And that's a funny thing. I pay attention to stuff like that too. A lot of people may not pay attention to stuff like that. But like if I have a friend that has never wore a necklace or rings or a watch or a hat or anything like that before, I'm going to immediately be like, bro, you're wearing a hat today. This is different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never, in the years that I've known you, I've never seen you wear a hat. Are you? Yeah, not that. We're not going to go that deep with it, obviously. But still, it's like paying attention to those details is important. And I think it's funny how all of those details do end up mattering here, especially in terms of things like, just all the little details and how much stuff is actually different. I think it works. I think it works here. Still don't understand what's up with the H being at the end of Cheetos. But, you know, again, with Eagly's consistency, he just pulls up with a string. Like what made Eagly think to bring a piece of string? Like, that shit is hilarious, bro. Like it makes absolutely no sense, but it's also so funny. And then I love the transition of that going into Eagly kicking on the refrigerator like, yo, get me some bologna, my boy. That shit really just had me weak. I really like that. And then I thought it was also really funny how we see Amelia and Peacemaker have this heart-to-heart moment while they're in the middle of getting chased by the police, right? They're in the middle of police chase and they're like connecting on this emotional level, no words for the first time ever. I think that's just really funny. I think it's really, whoa. I think that's really funny, the way that they do that and the way like all of these things have been going down. I've appreciated this season a lot. a lot. You know what I mean? And, you know, I just really like it. One thing that was not expected was to see the way that Augie and Keith pull up to help them, blowing up all of the police stuff. But it makes sense under this notion because the police in this universe are essentially, they're Nazis. So, you know, it makes sense for them. If I've said it already, Augie's suit is blue because he is more of a good guy in this universe. That was kind of my question from the beginning. And he is still a good guy. You know, they kind of finessed us with making it a Nazi world because then we think, oh, he's only a good guy because this is a Nazi world and he gets everything that he wants, so he's a good guy. But in all actuality, that is not what happened at all. You feel me? And then we also get this moment where we get to see our guy and homegirl strutting. She came through strutting her stuff, didn't she? God damn. And you know, we're here locked in and we're ready to get it going. And I absolutely love it. We find out also that Harper or Hopper or whatever the hell his name is, bro, is like the person behind a lot of the interdimensional travel research from the DCU standpoint. Like, they haven't really went into it any more or any less. But he is the guy. You know what I mean? He is the guy for real. And I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing him be that character. I am surprised that this episode was 33 minutes because it was the shortest episode of the season. But also, it did not feel like that in any way, shape, or form. And I think it's actually, I think the season has benefited off of not having extremely long run times or anything like that, you know? Because while I think we all do want more from the show, it doesn't necessarily feel like we're missing out on anything, right? It's just like we wish we had more of the show, and that's why we want the episodes longer. I don't feel like anything could. I feel like we're getting a good amount of stuff early. I think we're getting a good amount of stuff just early on, and I think every episode has been able to build off of the you know, the last episode and everything. Like, I think the show has done a really good job of containing itself, but also not being scared to go into the wider universe of the DCU, which I think is freaking awesome, to be completely honest with you. Like, I think it's really awesome. So, let's see. Oh, we also get earlier, we find out that, you know, Vigilante is like, yo, we got to get out of here for sure, you know? We got to get out of here. I love how consistent Economist is, bro. Like, he is consistently a pussy that will turn on his friends, but also feel terrible about turning on his friends. But he's just so much of a pussy that there's really no other option other than spilling the beans, being brutally honest about something, and doing everything he can to save his life, but also wanting to save his friends all, you know, at the same time. So I think that's just a really good notion. It was really sad in this moment to see just the way that everyone is being so genuine, brutally honest in this moment, right? Like, Peacemaker is being very honest here. They're all being honest with each other, yo. And it was really nice to see Augie and Peacemaker have this heart-to-heart moment here in this manner. And it's unfortunately set up. It's stopped by in such a terrible way, but You know, it's just true. Like, and then we can see in this moment, we can see how there is a shift in character between Augie and between Keith, right? Keith basically embraces the evilness that, you know, is there, and Augie embraces the exact opposite of that, right? He knows that Peacemaker was a complete dickhead because, again, everything in this universe is reversed, for lack of better words, right? So Peacemaker 2, even though Peacemaker is a dickhead, right? Peacemaker 2 is really a honest to God, like, lose his mind, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's even more of a dickhead than normal. So I think it was a really good way that we were able to bring all these things together, and then also center it around Keith, especially since the episode is called Like a Keith in the Night, and then Vigilante comes through like a thief in the night to do the things that he does, right? Like, all of these things are happening, and it just is insane. Yo, shout out to El Dolor de Todas over there on TikTok, coming through with the gifties. I appreciate you, my G. Let's go. Shout out to you. I hope you're having a good day today. And again, I definitely appreciate that. But, you know, it was just crazy to see the way that Augie was really sticking up for this version of Peacemaker and explaining how much of a dickhead his actual son was, and how Keith really didn't give a shit about that. And I think if this universe's Keith knew a little bit more about Peacemaker 1, I think he would be a little bit more understanding. And I feel like even Augie 2 could tell that Peacemaker 1 was different from his own son, and that's why he actually cared about him a little bit more and all these things, right? He could see that he was different, and he wanted to, you know, do what he could to be there for him. And I think that this actor, I can never think of Augie's actor's name, but I think this actor was chosen. I don't know if this was the idea behind this second season, but man, does it work so well in, like, not a direct parallel, but you know what I mean, in a opposite parallel of what we got from season 1. Like, it works so good, bro. Like, it's crazy how everything is kind of the same, but a complete inverse on it. Like, this shit is a masterclass, really. So I'm hyped about this, bro. I'm hyped about all of the things, bro. I was already ready for, you know, Vigilante to really come through and fuck some shit up. Like, that's definitely what I thought was gonna be. That's what I was gonna. Whoa, what the hell? That's definitely what I thought was going to happen. Jesus. But not in the manner of how they came through and fuck shit up. You know, I like that. Even though Vig 2 is from a racist Earth and all of this stuff, like, you still cannot tell the difference between them outside of them being, you know, kind of obvious about certain things. I don't think their suits are too different either. I think the only thing that is different about them, and I think one of the main reasons why they kept their helmets on as well, is because their glasses are the only thing that you can actually tell them apart by. If I'm not mistaken, our Vig 1 has the silver rim glasses, and then Vig 2 has the gold rim glasses. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I'll have to double check that. But you know what? Let me just double check that right here, right now. Right here, right now, right here, right now. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So Vig 2 has the gold rimmed glasses, and then Vig 1 has the silver rimmed glasses. Okay, so that's all we have to remember for next week when that happens, because I'm pretty sure other than that, their suits are directly the same exact suit, because they are the most same of a character from one universe to the next. Unlike Peacemaker, whose dove was upside down in this universe, so on and so forth. Right. So yeah, there's that. So as we are continuing to have this heart-to-heart between Peacemaker 1, Augie 2, and Keith 2, you know, Keith 2 is still standing on business, but Augie 2 is keeping him at bay. Like, literally, Augie 2 is the only thing keeping Keith 2 from killing everyone from Earth 1. Sad to see that happen, but it's sad to see him, go off of that deep end, but it's also really cool to see how much he loved his brother in both universes, right? He's going to stand on business when it comes to his brother and protect his brother as much as he can. Here, he really wasn't able to do it in that same way, and because of that, his brother is dead. So it's kind of crazy to see him break and have all of those things happen on one, in one night, having to kind of focus in on all of that, and then also have Economist still be a dickhead, being like, I was not here when they killed your brother, just want you to know that, like, and Augie 2 is really being the voice of reason in this moment. I mean, he's really, really being the voice of reason. It's actually surprising to, I'm pretty sure almost everyone that's watching at that point, like, Augie is a good guy? Like, what? Is Augie a good guy here? What's going on here? And as Augie makes his way to the window, I immediately got an uneasy feeling. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I felt like something bad was going to happen. And I'll be honest, what I thought was going to happen is that Keith was going to turn on his dad for turning on his brother and then ended up just killing everybody. But instead, we see Vigilante bust through the window and immediately start murdering Augie. Like, oh my God. Oh my God, bro. Like, oh my goodness. That's just so heartbreaking to see this version of Augie, who was really a good guy, who was really locking in, and, yeah. Yeah, bro. It's crazy to see how accurate, I guess you can say, all these different things would be, Like, all these characters are sticking to who they are and all. It's just, man, I just love it, bro. I just love it. It's just such a good twist to throw on what we thought we knew. In a world full of Nazis, the one person that we knew to be a Nazi is not a fucking Nazi. Like, wow. Like, wow. Like, that's insane, bro. Legit, yo. Yeah, pretty wild. I love the way that we got to get this moment of the vigilantes just being badasses and saving everyone. And then we really have no idea what vigilante is which, because I'm pretty sure all of their suits are the same. Like, everything about them is the same. So that was just really wild to see. I just was not ready for any of it, bro. And then he just feels so bad, and then it's just wham, bro. Like, he is not going out. And then something that I thought was very interesting was that Peacemaker had kind of the same reaction when he was fighting himself and not fighting back at all, not putting up his hands, not doing anything like that, just kind of letting shit happen. And then, of course, badass Eagly comes through doing the damn thing. And it's like, and then it's just crazy to see Peacemaker in this moment realizing that they are the bad guys in a world full of Nazis, in a world full of all of this bad stuff. Like, they are still the people that are the worst people around at that time. You know what I mean? While they are literally being surrounded by Nazis. I think it's really a beautiful amount of storytelling, and then we get this transition of back and forth of Chris yet again breaking and trying to figure out what's going on when he's going back and forth from seeing his younger brother dying in front of him to now his older brother dying in front of him, who he thought was a lot. Like, it's just so much going on. And it's a lot going on for us as the viewer. So just imagine how Peacemaker is feeling going through all of this, seeing his family die again and again in front of him, and all the people, all of his heroes. You know what I mean? Like, because Rick Flag Jr. was a hero of his, and he just killed him, right? Like, his reaction is just to kill. That's his first reaction, is to murder, to kill, to do the thing like that. And it was just so sad to see how Peacemaker just continues to just break, man. And everything is breaking him down again and again. And it's just so sad to see that happen, man. So sad to see that happen. I feel so sorry for bro. Like, I can't stress that enough. Like, we have got to be with Peacemaker over the, like, and just see him grow as a person and as a character. And it's been insane. I'm pretty sure the Vigilantes have made a deal with each other, and one of them is staying behind. Because I don't know, bro. It's just a feeling I have, you know. Right, and then we got Vidge doing this badass back handspring back kick to close the door. Like, bruh, it was bruh. He was on demon time. Like, Vidge was awesome in this episode, bro. Like, and getting to have two of them, best of both worlds. I thought we were gonna get both of them coming back, but unfortunately we didn't. I think it would be funny if this vigilante comes back. If this is Vidge 2 in Earth 1, I think it would be funny if he's nice to his mom, and then his mom is like, "Who the hell are you?" I guess that's a good poll that we can run right now as as I'm done, kind of breaking down this episode. I really enjoyed it. So the poll that I'll have for you guys is do you think... No. What vigilante came back through the portal? What vigilante came back through the portal? Vidge 1 or Vidge 2? Which Vidge came through the portal, chat? Let me know who you think it was in the comment section down below. I appreciate everyone that's been here for this episode. We're going to keep on yapping and chatting. We're actually going to jump into the comments to see how you guys are feeling about this one. So please leave all of your thoughts, theories, and questions in the comment section down below if you have not already. And please drop a like on the video if you haven't, because, man, the likes help out tremendously around these parts. If you don't know, the YouTube gods need a sacrifice, and that sacrifice is a like, a comment, and a share from you. So please do so if you do see fit. So please. And thank you. Ow. Shit. My neck hurts. Peace. Okay.
You know what? I constantly get reports of you sabotaging their show. Yeah.
All right, yo. We're gonna get into chat a little bit here. So let's see. Another shout out to El Dolor de Todas for the 24 gifts. Awesome. Thank you for that kindly. Oops. There we go. Nope, not there we go. That is not the right thing at all. There we go. There we go. All right, let's talk about season 2, episode 7 of Peacemaker. Ladies and gents, let's get into it. Is there one more episode? Yeah, we have one more episode after this, you guys. So, well, not today, but next week will be the season finale of Peacemaker season 2. No HBO in Pakistan, waiting for torrent. Hey, I hear you, brother. I hear you. Y'all think Vigilante from Earth X is dead? I mean, we don't know which Vigilante it is. I kind of feel like it's Vigilante 1. I feel like I see that's what a lot of people are saying, is that Vig 1 is the one that came through. So that's crazy. How do you think this is gonna lead to the future of the DCU? Well, from what we saw from the end trailer for season 2, it looks like they're going into other dimensions for one reason or another, trying to find something. I don't know what it is that they're trying to find, but they are trying to find something that seems to be very important to them. So whatever it is that they're trying to find may actually be a very bad thing that comes back into the DCU, therefore causing Lex Luthor and Superman to work together in order to get to the root of whatever that problem may be. I don't know that to be a fact, but I just kind of think that's what's going to be going on there. It sounds like one of the best. It sounds like it's, a good idea. Yo, yeah, the acting in this episode was freaking incredible. Can't wait to see Creature Commandos versus the 11th Street Kids. That would be honestly insane. Why there was scene so focused on Vidge doing backflip? Was that main Earth Vidge left behind? It could be. I think they mainly focused on him doing that in order to show us that the door to our universe is closed, right? Like that door gets closed 100%. I'm pretty sure that Augie 2 is the only person that knew the code to that door, because it seemed like, everybody was kind of just confused about the door a little. It seemed like bro was a little more confused about the door. And they did not know that the door leads to other Earths. It might be possible, though. His death felt so random. Why the hell did Vigilante just stab him? I'm pretty sure that Vig 1 is the one that stabbed him, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that is because either if it was Vig 1 or 2, it doesn't matter, because they thought they were going in to save Economos, Peacemaker, and Harcourt from the Nazi superheroes of this Earth, right? Because it seems like Augie and Keith, as well as this version of Peacemaker, are not actually racist. Well, it seems like Keith might actually be drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, no pun intended, but he seems like he actually might be a little crazy, because he did kind of lose it, and he did 100% chase Adebayo down the street, yelling, "It's a black, get her, one has left," and all this stuff, and that is not. And then Augie 2 literally was like, "Bro, we don't even get down like that. What the hell is wrong with you?" You know what I mean? So I think that all of that together lets us know that everyone thought that they were going to save friends from Nazis. But unfortunately, they killed the one dude that was not a Nazi, probably in this entire universe. So that sucks. Well, no, because we know that Vidge wasn't as well, but you know what I mean. That's just very unfortunate that went down in the manner that it did. Very, very unfortunate that shit went down like that. Robert Patrick is the name of the actor. Yeah, shout out to Robert Patrick, yo. He is a great actor. The way that he was able to convey hatred and just being a terrible father in season 1, and then to be able to show the complete mirror effect of that exact character of someone who is kind, loving, understanding, not toxic in any way, shape, or form. Like, I mean, bro, it just takes a good level of just chops to be able to hold that shit down. And he did a fantastic job. I think we can all agree that Robert Patrick did a fantastic job for Augie. Just finished Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 7. Yo, Noah, let me know how you felt about it. I definitely am looking forward to hearing your thoughts. If you guys would like for me to 100% read your chat, you can always send a super chat, and then I will do just that. I'm not going to read every single one. There's a lot of super chats here. I'm going to read a couple of them here and there. But if you want me to deep dive into any questions that you have, for sure, 100%, you can always do that and send a super chat. Or you can join the Brovengers and become a Brovenger and help us protect all that is nerdy and awesome. As a member of the YouTube channel, you get access to some of the videos that I post early, as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. Sometimes we do member-only streams and such. And then you can also, if you would like to support us in any other way, you can check out the Patreon. On our Patreon, we always have these videos up, the full stuff that you can see everything in its full goodness. Maybe no audio in some of the episodes, but you'll definitely be able to see everything solid. I was surprised by Augie too. Same, yo. His death was so sad, but it was such a funny Vig moment. Unfortunately, it's just Vigilante being Vigilante, bro. He literally shoot first and ask questions that never, bro. And that is exactly what happened. Yo, what's up with the Marvel Cuphead? Hope you're having a good day today, my guy. Where's Blue Beetle? That's funny, yo. I don't know if we're gonna see Blue Beetle. That would be wild. It really makes it feel like Chris was right and he's the worst thing on his own life. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. You know, I don't know. I don't know where we end when it comes to Peacemaker. Like, bro, I'm nervous about him. You know what I mean? Like, Peacemaker does not seem to be in the best state of mind currently. John's acting was so freaking insane. Holy shit. Yeah, John Cena did a hell of a job. When he screamed stop, bro, it was like, I felt that shit. It was like a little kid saying, like, leave my brother alone. You know what I mean? Like, I felt that on every level, yo. Yep, exactly, Dove Love. Exactly. It just hits you in a different way emotionally, hearing him cry out for his brother like that he has already seen die in front of him. I felt for Chris, yeah, for surely. That moment when Chris and Keith, that moment between Chris and Keith was really good. Yeah, even that moment when he's just like crying on Keith's shoulder as Keith is like bleeding out right there. And then he's just like, bro, I'm so fucking sorry. Like, damn, bro, you know? Culture Fiend said this legit made me teary-eyed. Yo, it sounds like, yo, type a 1 in the chat if this episode brought the waterworks on for you, yo. Let me know. They definitely teased that Keith is gonna return, but I also kind of feel like Keith, I don't know, Keith is definitely angry because they killed his dad for one. Yeah. Actually, and that would make sense as to why it would be Vig 1 that got trapped in Earth 2. He also, because he knows the code, he could also help him like actually get back to, you know, like track him. I think that would actually be a really good plot point, is if we leave Vig in Earth 2, because then we can do a lot of different stuff with that there. Like, we can do a lot of different stuff with that. The PM podcast just went up. Yo, say less. I got it up right here, my guy. Let's go. Hey, I appreciate that, Beezy. Yo, if you guys don't know, they do a Peacemaker official podcast with James Gunn at the end of every show, at the end of every episode and whatnot. And they have dropped another one here for this. So we're obviously going to check this out like we did last week. And with this, I will be able to show everything. I'll be able to show you guys the podcast, and we can still talk, and I'll interact with chat and all of that. But I'm still going to catch up with some more chats here. The finale is 100% going to be Keith and the Nazis coming to Earth 1. I don't know, man. It definitely looked like Argus was going into the portal and like kind of just like colonizing different planets, like different places, or at least looking for something. I don't know what it is that they're looking for from another universe, but they are looking for something for sure. I don't know if they're looking for like some other version of kryptonite because there isn't any more kryptonite, or I don't know what's going on, bro, but they're looking for something. Like Rick Flag Sr. is 100% looking for something in those portals. And it was almost like he knew exactly what to look for once he got on those portals as well. So I don't know. Blue Beetle came out of Portal Mr. Bro to help Peacemaker. No idea what you're talking about. I don't know what episode you was watching or what news you may know, but that ain't happened, my guy Cuphead. Do we think Nazi Superman is ruled out from coming just yet? I think it's possible that in this universe, Krypton didn't get destroyed. You know what I mean? There are so many things that that is a domino effect for the entire universe. And I really do think it's a huge possibility that this universe's Krypton has not been destroyed, meaning that there is not a Superman on this planet at all. One of the reasons why it was the top trio that went to fight the kaiju that was released in, I think it was Metropolis or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, even for the top trio to be one of the biggest, I don't know if they're the biggest. They're the biggest in their town, but I mean, still, it just seems like maybe there's some stuff there that we don't know about. If you look at their swords, Earth 1 Vigilante has this sword on his left and has his on the right. Is that true? Hold on, let's check that out real quick. I don't know this to be true. I don't know, my boy. I think you just made that up. Hold on. Hold on, let's see. Okay. When he looked at him and he was like, "Why do you want to go on me, Brad?" He looked at him. That shit had me rolling. I think their swords are facing the same direction. Yeah, they are. Wait, are they? No, yeah. Because see, that's his sword right here, and then Bruh's sword is also facing that direction. Yeah, their swords are facing the same way. Episode was nuts. It had to be Earth 1 Vidge that made it through, though, right? You can see the bullet graze on his arm when going through. I mean, to be fair, we have no idea what Vidge is what Vidge when they, like, after they go right here. Like, after this point of them talking, we don't know who is who. Hey, this is a good still, actually, for the person who said that their swords are facing the same way. You can clearly see that they are. Someone said that their swords weren't facing the same way, but you can clearly see here both of their swords are facing the same way. The only thing that is different about these two versions of Vigilante is the type of glasses they wear. One's glasses is gold and the other glasses is silver. Only difference. That's the only difference. Earth X may go down as done for overall. Keith never knew the code for the door before Augie 2 got taken out. Also, wasn't Keith wanted for killing those cops? Oh, that's a good point. No, I don't think Keith was wanted for killing the cops. I'm pretty sure Peacemaker was the one that was wanted. I'm pretty sure the cop was asking about Peacemaker when they got to the house because he was the one that was in Argus and then he was the one that was getting chased by police, and then, you know, the last known place that he was seen, all the police died because that's when Augie 2 and Keith 2 pulled up to save Peacemaker. So all they know is that Peacemaker is the bad guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I couldn't believe he started just murdering Augie 2, bro. But it just makes sense. It makes sense, though. Vidge 2 wouldn't reach for his gun to try to save Chris. Vidge 1 would definitely. Amber, see, that's actually not true because Vidge 2 was all about killing cops because all of the cops in his universe were Nazis. So he would 100% be ready to shoot. You know what I mean? He would be 100 ready to shoot cops. Just him, Vidge 1 and Vidge 2 are basically the same person, other than a little few differences. So just as ready as one would be able to kill a cop, the other one would too. I'm pretty sure Vidge 2 even, like, boasts about killing cops at the beginning of the episode. You know what I mean? And then they, like, have a moment about how cool it is to kill cops. And then later on, they yet again agree to kill cops again. So I don't think something as simple as him being ready to pull the gun out is you know, cause for that to be 100% Vidge 1. I was shocked Augie 2 wasn't evil, but also I wonder if Chris will have a grudge against Vigilante because he killed his better father. We don't know what Vigilante killed who, and I don't think he's gonna have an issue with it because he's gonna understand. He's gonna be like, bro, I understand, Vidge. Like, you didn't know. Peacemaker's very understanding. Maybe episode 8 is the episode with crazy cameos. I think another Lex cameo might happen, and also maybe a Creature Commandos or Suicide cameo. Other than that, episode 8 is unpredictable. Yeah, I think it's super unpredictable. I don't even know if we see crazy cameos like that, you know? I don't even know if we see crazy cameos in that manner. I think it's possible, but I don't know if it... I just don't think that's something that will happen, though. I love how Chris really seemed like he wanted to bring Blue Dragon back into his world, knowing he wasn't a Nazi. Yeah. Episodes is too short. Hype is over for me. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means, my guy. That sounds like a sad, sad life to have right there, buddy. The show is a banger, and I know I'll see you next week for the season finale. So, see you then, bud. Let's get into the podcast.
You know what? I constantly get reports of you sabotaging your show. Yeah. Like people doing emotional scenes, and all of a sudden they look over and you're filming them.
Yeah.
Before the season.
I'm leaving.
No, sit down. Before the season, Noah was like, man, I see you guys in these blooper reels and they look so fucking fun. I would just want to laugh and be on camera in a blooper reel.
Well,
and I said I can handle that.
How did Judo Master get into Earth X? Buddy. Are we watching the same show? Judo Master followed Peacemaker in the portal.
Peacemaker, the official podcast with James Gunn. I'm James Gunn. I'm here with my co-hosts, Jennifer Howland and Steve Agee. Steve Agee.
Don't
And I'm
point
eating
that Cheeto at me.
some meat-flavored Cheetos.
That is the dry. I'm gonna say that is the driest ass Cheeto I've ever seen in my life.
Not because of any reason other than we legitimately love your products. Except for I'm the only one that likes the meat-flavored one, but other than that, we love
Meat flavored Cheetos sounds diabolical, bro.
I am Jennifer Holland. I play Amelia Harcourt.
I'm Steve Agee. I play John Economos.
Today we're diving into season 2, episode 7, titled Like a Keith in the Night. It's directed by Alethea Jones. And joining us around the table today, we've got Danielle Brooks, our lovely Leota Adebayo.
Howdy.
Joining us again. Thank you for being here. And we have Nup Lee, the flaming hot Cheetos eating judo master.
Ding dong,
bitches.
And as always, we will be giving away spoilers, so if you have not watched the episode yet, go to HBO Max now and do so.
Ding dong, bitches.
Do you remember any of the other alternate options that James
Yeah,
had
bro,
you say
I don't
other than
know.
ding dong bitches?
Yeah. So that day, James wasn't directing. It was Brad Anderson's
This was from
episode.
season 1.
Season 1.
I thought he was stuck in the
And
pocket.
so
Oh
that
no.
morning, I texted you guys like a dozen different options. I think in the script it was just Ki or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I ran it. I said, "Ding dong, bitches!" And then there was like, "Who ordered pizza?" Or something really stupid.
Who ordered pizza?
That's
Or like, I remember one. It was like, "What happened to the black man?" As Martin was on the ground, he had died at this most random thing. So I'm glad.
What happened to the black man?
I'm glad it was
Cuckoo Kachoo.
Yeah. He might say that in the future.
You were just telling me about your heritage. I was asking you what your actual heritage is, and you were saying.
Yeah, I am 100% Vietnamese. Both of my parents were born in Vietnam. I was born in Vietnam and then came to the States when I was 6 and grew up in Pennsylvania, surrounded by cornfields and tractors.
Y'all didn't ask me where I was from or my background when I first came on the show. She's black from the South.
We thought you were Vietnamese.
I just assumed you were 100% Vietnamese.
I didn't want to tell the people though.
This is the first time Noah's been here with us, and so what was the process like for you first coming onto Peacemaker?
You mean from audition or so this was this is sort of a crazy story because this happened during sort of the pandemic. And so I, at this time, was living in LA for about 12 years. And I thought I was going to move back to
Brainiac cameo. I did see the big skull tentacle thing. It looked very Brainiac-ish.
So by this time, I started doing pottery.
He's really, really good at a potter. He's a good potterist.
He made us some stuff too.
What do you call it?
A potter. A potterist? The female form of potter.
Actually, that sounds a little.
Potter.
That doesn't sound good.
You're not a Harry Potter.
Not Harry Potter.
Not
So lame. That was a lame joke.
Like Peacemaker mugs.
Yeah, for wrap gifts.
Yes, they're great. I use them all.
Chips and stuff.
I make everyone wrap gifts. So I actually, at that point, found a house out there. I was in escrow. A week before I was supposed to sign, I get booked for Peacemaker.
Oh my God.
And so
You ruined your life.
my agent called me, and I was like, after she told me, I was just speechless for like a full minute. Like, because in my mind, I had already reconciled that I wasn't going to do that anymore, so.
But I remember you did a video. It was very unusual.
Yeah.
You did a whole video of like kicking people's asses or something.
Yeah. I sent
Oh
in
shit!
my,
That's awesome.
Stunt stuff, like fighting stuff, because Judo Master is such a physical role. So I'd sent all that in first, and then they were like, okay, we need to see you do hand-to-hand combat, because all the stuff I did before was weapon stuff. And so I just gotten my wisdom tooth out when I get this call, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
Damn.
So I run home.
Life of the actor.
How was that again? What did you say again?
Like, oh yeah. I'm holding my jaw so I can't speak. So
You can't say no.
right, I got it, and so I sent that in, and then they sent me the sides to do it. And I remember at this point I had a little mannequin at my house, and I printed out John's face. I don't know if you saw my audition tape.
I did, yeah.
So I printed out
That's
John's...
why I know about it. I'm not saying it because I heard about it.
Rumors.
So I printed out John's face on a piece of paper, taped it onto this mannequin,
So smart.
and was doing all the Judo Master bits around this mannequin with like eating chips and like rubbing it on him.
Hey, Bro is a good judo master.
Was he always eating Flaming Hot Cheetos? Because I remember when he was hiding in the cupboard in that episode, the reason you hear him is because he's eating chips behind you.
He's eating chips.
But they're actually not Flaming Hot Cheetos because it would be too much of a coincidence that there were Flaming Hot Cheetos in the cupboard. So he found whatever chips were in there.
Yeah,
He's a snacker. He likes
snacking.
Do you think, is he like Popeye with spinach, where Flamin' Hot Cheetos maybe give him a little bit of strength and power?
I think he is someone who maybe
Sounds
likes
like a Cheetos
the
commercial.
pain of the flaming hot Cheeto, you know, like just to remind him that he's alive.
Wow. We were talking earlier in the room, we're like, I actually think Judo Master doesn't give a fuck what anybody says.
Yeah.
I think that Judo Master is the most sort of secure in himself of probably anybody in the primary Peacemaker.
Yes. For sure.
Yeah, we were speaking about this briefly before, and I was telling James how freeing it is to play Judo Master, because Na in my normal life is, you know, very reserved, very nice, and like observe etiquette, whereas Judo Master, like, he can beat anyone up, so he doesn't care what anybody else thinks. Like, if the person's 3 times his size, you know, whatever it is, he has that freedom in his confidence and security that he's gonna eat and his mouth is gonna be wide open while he's talking to you because he just doesn't care, you know?
So, we're going to get into the episode now. We can't talk about the beginning of 207 without talking about the end of 206, which is where we discover that we're in a Nazi world, basically. And this was something I was really sensitive about. Danielle, do you remember this?
I remember you calling me. Yeah. He's like, D, like, I'm gonna send you the scripts. You let me know. And I was like, I'm good. I'm really good. And I do really think about that. I'm very aware of what we're bringing into the world, but it's true to the world we live in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are fucking ugly and mean, and so I just felt like, yes, let's tell this story. I'm down to tell it with you. You know?
And I think that was important for me because I would have changed it.
Yeah, and I know you would have.
You know, it is about all of that, but it's also about sort of the just Peacemaker's spiritual journey where you say to him in episode 4, you know, your character does, of Leota says to him, the grass isn't always greener, basically. This is where God put you. This is where you belong. But he keeps trying to go to this place that does initially seem like it's the greatest thing. But it's like, it's the same way somebody who's married with somebody that they love for so many years, that has so many, you know, great qualities, but also flaws. I haven't seen any yet in Jen. But someday I might. And then they get distracted by somebody who's seen.
Okay, my bad. What I was saying when I was muted for some reason, I have no idea how long I've been muted because I've just been talking. I've done nothing different. But what I was saying was it's really important to pay attention to what James Gunn and Danielle just were talking about because he said that he sent her the script, and then she said she read the script and told him that it was cool, and then he said that's okay. I needed you to be okay with it because if you weren't, I would have rewrote it or I would have changed it. And then she said, yeah, I know you would have. That is a very, very important conversation that we were able to, you know, kind of pick up on right there. Because in this day and age that we're in right now, when everything is about scripts and rewrites and this is script's not done and that script's not done and all this stuff, right? People forget that shit like this happens. When the writer is done, the writer sends it to other people who are like, okay, maybe I'm not okay with this part of the script. That doesn't make me feel comfortable. And the writer's like, okay, for sure, I'll change something about that. Like, all of those things are rewrites and edits and different shit that has to happen in a script. And there's a lot more than just that goes on behind the scenes that we just aren't privy to all the time. So I just wanted to kind of make a note of that because I think it's really important to know that with where we are when it comes to, you know, the discussions about projects being created, period.
Great qualities, but also flaws. I haven't seen any yet, Jen. But someday I might. And then they get distracted by somebody who seems great after talking with them for 5 hours. And they screw up everything and they have an affair. You know, it's like life is complicated. He hasn't really taken the time to see exactly what this other world is. And
that's so true. He just kind of went all in.
But he was raised as in a certain way, and he doesn't notice that there aren't any people of color anywhere around him.
Which a lot of people don't, though. I mean, a lot of people do not understand there's people that have a different walk of life than they do. You know, I think I have been so fortunate to live in New York, where the world is so different. You go to Harlem, you go to Chinatown, you go, upstate, you go to Washington Heights, you gonna hear some different kind of. The world is so different and beautiful, but there are places like where people. There really ain't no. You know what I mean?
Or where I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, is an incredibly segregated place, and there are black people there, but it's they live in white people and black people live primarily in different places. And when I grew up, there was like Jen makes fun of me all the time because I always thought there's black people, there's white people. And then everybody else is white. Mexicans are white. I never once in my entire, until I was like pretty old, like embarrassingly old, I never thought of a Latino or a Latina as a person of color. Just that they were white. And in fact, there were so few Asians in St. Louis, it was like, they hung out with white people because there was nobody else they could hang out with. And then, now I live in Atlanta. And it's a much different experience.
You live in Wakanda.
If you live in Wakanda, you're pretty. Everybody's got a little flying saucer hat that they fly around with. That's what black people do.
That's what Atlanta is, Wakanda.
Wakanda is, but Atlanta is like, you go out to a nice dinner and an expensive restaurant, and it's just totally a multicultural experience. Like it's not.
And it's been great for me. I go to the gym, and these half-ripped white guys are just like, wait, you're in Peacemaker. But that brings us together. I don't know if we would have talked to each other otherwise, and now we're coming into each other's worlds. I just love that about what we do.
I lived in a gated community for a while in Atlanta. I was the only white person in my gated community. And there was no difference in this gated community from any other gated community in America, except for one thing in the houses. Do you know what it was?
What?
They all had a barbershop. Or what do you call it?
Yes.
Yeah. They all did. And that's not in, you go into a gated community in St. Louis and the houses are exactly the same except for that. There's wrapping, what do you call them, wrapping rooms?
In the South, they often have like a gift wrapping room.
A room for gifts?
That's some southern
That's some southern crazy shit, but we have lived in houses with wrapping rooms.
Ours did too, we got rid of it immediately.
Because what are you going to do? I wrap once a year.
These are women who they just are stay-at-home moms and they make really cool things all day long.
It's a craft.
It's a craft room, but who crafts all day? Southern women.
Steve A.G.
I would love a room like that.
You would?
Yes. Here's why. So like when you're going through your life, you're like, oh, maybe this person will love this gift, so I'd buy it, and then I want to store it in this room until it's their birthday or Christmas or whatever, and then give it to them.
I like that.
He's a lot more thoughtful than all of us.
Oh, he's very thoughtful.
In this sequence, when we open up,
Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't realize we're in Nazi world.
How was I supposed to notice that?
There's the big reveal of the Hitler painting.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much you can see of it in the cut anymore because the
Why do I
joke
keep
about
getting
it has
muted,
been
bro?
removed.
Like, what in the world?
But they actually had a bunch of the guys shave Hitler mustaches, and they had to keep these on them for days while we were shooting said they were like having to leave our set.
Were those real mustaches? They weren't fake mustaches?
They actually, these dudes
We're
actually
doing a
had to,
Charlie Chaplin movie.
they had to shave their faces.
They were waddling down the street just so people didn't think
They were doing your favorite.
Yeah, because originally
that's
it was
brutal.
Harkness as the Peacemaker. You don't notice all the Mein Kampf, on every desk, copies of Mein Kampf on every desk, and he says, well, I don't read books. And then she points to these guys standing next to the copier. What about all those stupid little mustaches?
The lame little mustaches.
There's all these guys with Hitler mustaches.
And they cut to all these guys.
And then she goes, what about the giant fucking Hitler mural? And that was the funny
I think a 3D is actually solid.
The lame little mustaches looked too cartoony for me, so I thought it didn't look.
I understand.
It looked staged.
Those poor guys are going to be,
I'm sorry.
so sad. And it got
Well, let's give a special thank you to the little Hitler mustache boys. And then we have Danielle being chased by
I know.
the mob of white people.
Which is the scariest thing. I definitely got my ancestors. Okay. I was really running out here.
Just imagine.
Damn, that's a real.
White people, and that's what happened.
That's a real ass. That's a real ass
You go into
thing to
the
think about. That's
swimming
wild.
pool.
Yes.
Looks like you're surrounded. Looks like you're dead.
Which, I mean, it was a lot of fun to do that.
Was it?
Because I have to say, I was a little jelly. I had a little FOMO that Adebayo didn't get to meet herself in the alternate universe.
I know.
So,
that's really
I had
true,
the
huh?
cool scene, and then this one caught me.
Hey, that's so true, huh?
Yeah, you were surprised
Yeah,
to see
I was
Master there.
really excited to have a scene with Danielle because we barely got a chance to
In the first
interact in
season.
season 1. So when I read, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so fun. Behind the scenes, Danielle is so funny. She always makes me laugh. So I was excited to get a chance to.
Yeah.
He was really excited because I got a text that day saying, you should come by set. We're electrocuting racists in the pool.
That's awesome.
But it was weird because we had to go and we talked to the crew and it's just weird,
Yeah.
And
Like, we're going to be doing a racist scene today.
getting out. So then we have
Everybody buckle up.
and
It's going to be pretty intense on the set today.
AKA Peacemaker. Yeah, we're riding on the motorcycle.
Escaping, we have Keith and Augie dealing with the tied-up Economos, who is his ultimate cowardly self.
Nothing I said was true. You didn't make anything up. Like a human lie detector.
And then we have
Even trying to sell it. Like, he didn't even try to sell what was happening. That's the one thing that be killing me about Economist is, like, he's just going in, like,
Master
wow.
and Adebayo in the safe house,
Yes.
which he's picked because there's the most snacks.
The most snacks, yeah. That night was one of the latest nights that we were working. Poor Danielle, they had to spray her down with water.
Yes.
And we had to wait outside before they caught action.
Hey, at least she got that pay bump.
Benefiting from her body.
But then, like, I feel like they had a bunch of ACs blasting in the room to keep it cool, but it made me really, really cold.
Yeah.
Also, wet is hard to control. It's hard to control. We had that great moment where you said Adebayo kept this excited look on your face. A little gleeful judo master, where he says, that's the most people I've ever killed at one time by electrocuting them in a swimming pool. And she says,
What was the second most amount of people you've ever killed in a swimming pool with a telephone wire?
4.
it's a lot more than 4. It's like, when you got a good score on a video game, and then you do your high score by like 3 times.
Am I
But also
tripping?
my question is, like, I'm sure he doesn't get a chance to
3 times the good score on a video, more than 4 this time.
Amount of people you've ever killed in a swimming pool with a telephone wire?
4.
It's a lot more than 4 this time. So you did it.
Maybe I'm tripping. Never mind.
When you've got a good score on a video game, and then you do your high score by like 3 times as much.
But also my question is, like, I'm sure he doesn't get a chance to interact with a lot of people, so just having someone ask him these questions
It's a brag, dude.
excited about.
Yeah.
Because, like, in his mind, he's like, okay, I killed maybe 15 this time. So, like, I'm waiting for someone to ask me next time.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm getting ready for the next question.
Intimate situation where you play a nice game of Scrabble.
Shout out to Kendrick Lamar.
And you have a unique bonding experience.
She's
between the two
black.
minorities
I was not expecting that. Her actual, I didn't expect her to be like blackity black. Like
Basically,
she got her nails done, hair done.
talks about being
She got the hoop earrings.
Yeah, that's a nice
She
moment.
pulled up,
I
yo.
would have known you was this cool. I never would have tased you.
We have Vigilante 2 and Vigilante 1. Kellen was the stand-in actor for Vigilante 2, and so the way we shot that was with the two of them, and then we'd shoot it again on the other side.
Ever since the Nazis won World War II.
Whoa!
What? The Nazis won World War II here? Yes. That's the craziest thing I've heard since I've had Cheerios as an H on the end.
But the back and forth was so good, and Kellen was so good at like really getting the beats in, and you see how important it is to have an actor off screen. So even though we eventually filled it with Freddie, Kellen was doing everything as Freddie was. So good at these scenes. We were laughing so much on set just at Freddie and Kellen.
I enjoyed working with him too.
Oh yeah, he's a nice guy. And so it was great. We learned that there are black people that are in some sort of camps of some type where they're forced to work for everyone else in the world.
And I got out.
And they think you got out.
Quotes, yeah.
So that's where Keith thinks you came from. And then we go to probably my favorite thing in this episode maybe is the motorcycle ride with Harcourt and Peacemaker, where it seems like they're probably going to die, and in this last moment where they are being chased by the police and radically outnumbered, we see for the first time ever Harcourt give in and lean her head onto Chris's back.
And Chris takes her hand
And he takes his hand, squeezes it, and you see that look on John's face that is like incredible.
He is such a good actor, bro. John Cena is just wow.
Whatever he does.
What's up, Margaret?
This season, I mean, the depth of his work is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
He really has like just grown so much as an artist and as an actor. Like, you know, you're like, I don't know which one of you all went to Juilliard. You know, everybody knows it is me, but
I mean, I thought so.
That means something. If you had said this 2 years ago, wouldn't have meant jack. Now it means something.
Like, just shout out to him, and you will see, like, even throughout the season, other scenes, which, you know, we're not talking about today, but I just really was like, wow, as a scene partner, this is exactly what you want. Like, somebody who just will give you everything, and I don't know, like, you can bounce off of, and just he picks that ball up if you toss whatever to him. I just think he did a phenomenal job.
You know what I think? I think he really took it to heart when on season 1 we were all like, we all got to get on to Danielle's level.
You got to come up to Danielle's level. Right. We did say that even before you were an Academy Award nominee. We knew it was going to. It was
an amount of time.
It was really just.
John does not say no to it.
You got nominated.
It would be fucking possible if you fucking won that.
We should not sleep on this show season 2 because I do believe we should be nominated. I mean,
agreed.
Again,
For real, though.
You heard it here, folks.
Peacemaker, y'all.
I mean, so many great performances.
For real. I ain't gonna lie, everybody was on like an all-time high.
Next episode is some of Danielle's best work in anything ever. She's incredible, and Freddie's work throughout. Jen, last episode, that stuff seen with you and John at the table, some of my favorite stuff ever.
Right, everybody was literally.
But Steve,
Cooking.
He needs to come up to everybody else's level.
That's impossible.
I gotta say,
I'm comfortable on my level. I have fun on my level. You guys are all stressing.
Come on, jokes aside, though, you're fucking great in this season, man.
Yeah.
My
Great acting coach too. He helped me when we had to be drunk.
What advice did he give you for being drunk?
He was like, "Don't act drunk." He was like,
You act like a person who's drunk trying to act sober. And that was given to me by Nick Offerman.
Okay, and thank God you gave me that because I mean the scene was so much fun to do.
Yeah, I can see that though.
You gave me that note. I was like, okay, we got this because
it's like you're trying to, yeah.
I'm good. This is gonna suck. We're just coming back. No.
You're both so good.
That seems great.
It's a great scene. And I just realized that motorcycle ride was my favorite thing to shoot ever. I don't know how to describe it. It was like there was magic in the air. We were just
Alethea Jones did a really great job shooting that scene.
She did. It's really beautiful.
And
the sun was shining.
The glow on your face. We need to take a moment of silence for the glow. It gave everything.
Well, we can thank our crew for that because it was just they were bouncing something beautiful.
What were you guys? What were you when you were shooting the scene with you on? Were you on an actual motorcycle on a plank, or were you on? You were in a trailer?
Yeah, we're just driving around on the motorcycle strapped into the trailer and just riding around.
Great.
It was a beautiful day. I mean, it was my favorite day of shooting. I left that day just like contemplating life. It was amazing.
So the motorcycle ride ends. They're surrounded by cops. It looks as if they're about to die when they are saved by Augie and Keith.
Augie 2 and Keith 2.
Come with us now.
We have Rick Flag Sr. and Bordeaux meet up with, of all people, Sidney Happerson from the Superman movie, who happens to be my friend Stephen Blackheart, who is Lex Luthor's #1, who is the world expert on dimensional interconnectivity. I think Stevie's great in that scene, and
He is.
thank you. You love.
He was so great that it really puts into perspective how panicked my guy was in Superman about the interdimensional portal ripping through Earth. Like, he was absolutely stressed about that on another level. And it really puts that into perspective. Like, I already knew that he was tripping, but he was tripping, like, the entire time. Like, seeing how he is here with how calm, cool, and collected he was in this episode versus how he was in Superman, it lets you know that he always knew that there was some shit going wrong with that dimensional portal and he was not happy with it.
You said?
Yes, my God, girl. Get her runway immediately. Every time. It was not just that scene, but like every time you allowed
I said
her
it.
to
She
walk
was strutting.
somewhere. Oh my God. I was like, strutting.
Bruh.
We need like RuPaul's music just right in the background of everything.
So
She
Keith
was
and Augie
strutting.
and take Chris and Harcourt in with Economos,
Dude, I'm sorry. You fucking stabbed me in my hand.
and Chris tells him the whole truth, that he killed Peacemaker
So
too,
sincerely too.
but he did it by accident. He didn't mean to do it. It doesn't seem to matter to Keith, which has got to be heartbreaking for him. At the point when they're getting somewhere, there's a knock at the door, and we see our old friend Larry Fitzgibbon, probably the only white cast member that we have from the main cast that could still be alive in Earth 2, because obviously Song isn't there, at least not working on the police force, and Myrn isn't there. I did at one point write a big plot line for Myrn, and just where he was sort of like
He was a Sons of Liberty guy.
he was a Sons of Liberty.
That
He was a
actually
hero.
makes so
He
much
was like,
sense.
whereas Myrn on our planet was like the worst guy in the world before he became a butterfly. Myrn
Yeah,
on their
yeah,
planet
yeah.
was like the sort of kick-ass Harriet Tubman
I was
of
about to
that
say Martin
planet.
Luther King or something.
Yeah, but he was like a total action hero. So, but I mean, listen, there's still the future.
That's
There's still
dope.
Earth 2. We didn't blow it up. It still exists.
And Addie, please, I want to meet myself.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just want to have a British accent. I really don't. But I'm just like, I really thought Freddie was gonna pull out his British accent.
That would have been
That would be
funny.
interesting.
I was like, what?
Two vigilantes join Judo Master and Adebayo.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a little
crazy.
confrontation between you and Vigilante.
Yeah.
What are you with this guy for? I hate this fucking guy. This little fucking guy.
You hate me because I fucked you up?
Yeah, I remember
Yo.
that scene was fun to do because Freddy's like 6 feet tall and I'm
Yeah.
5'1" in heels.
Yeah.
When I wish. But like, you know, I do go toe to toe with him, and I remember filming and looking straight up at him.
I loved it.
And again, I didn't give a shit because, you know, Judo Master can beat up anyone, so.
I remember at one point I was trying to break out. I was like, stop. And it was like, girl, go sit down. You're doing too much. Just let him have it.
That's crazy.
And then we get to kind of the last act of the episode in which Augie ends up being the only guy who's not a fucking Nazi.
I applaud
Yeah.
you. If your world is perfect and you fight every injustice you ever see.
Bruh, cook.
Is that what you do?
He is so much like Harcourt is in our world, who doesn't try to change jack shit, but she does kind of what she can, but that's about it. And that's kind of all the 11th Street kids. We're living within a corrupt system, and so many people in this planet are like that.
I fight the madman murders and monsters in front of me because that's all I can control.
And we also learn a little bit more about Peacemaker 2, that even more hearing about how he was not a good guy. And you see that Augie has real compassion for our Peacemaker. He knows his son was a bad guy.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He loves him, but he knows he also, with looking at it in a sober fashion, was not a good human being. And he can see that the Chris from our planet is a good person. And he wants to save them. He wants to save all of you. Just have you go back and never come back. And as Augie goes into this big speech about the way he sees the world, Vigilante pops through the window, and nothing is ever clean cut in the world of Peacemaker. And he stabs Augie Smith to death.
So harshly.
Just, you can't believe you're seeing it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Literally, it's
even though,
so
what would you expect from Vigilante?
Right.
You still are just like
legitimate.
This guy just like was the nicest guy saying, "Let's not have any more killing. Let's get you out of here.
Let's get you out of here."
Boom.
Like, it's like, you didn't even like put him in a headlock first and be like, you want me to take him out? You want me to? He just went
straight for the
The moment before when Peacemaker sees Vigilante in the window, and
He
he's
knows.
like, oh fuck, what is he gonna do?
And he's about to speak,
You know?
and then it's so fast.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, that was hard to cut because it was how long does he look? And you do hear Vigilante in the background saying, he had, Economos all tied up. So that was that he gave himself to murder him. And there's a little bit of action beat, just madness of people shooting at each other. Steve, what was it like getting dragged on that seat there?
I have claustrophobia. So first of all, being strapped to that chair was a little disconcerting.
Why don't you do a shorter list of us of the phobias that you don't have?
I don't have a mushroom phobia.
But also you get.
But also I have vertigo.
Yeah.
And my vertigo is at its worst when I am flat on my back. And this like whole episode, I'm like, once that chair gets knocked over.
At like midnight, by the way. Yeah.
It was a long shoot, but also everyone was really nice. Like Cena was just like, hey, can we fucking get him up? Get him up. Like everyone was really looking out for me. So it was good.
Yeah. People knew.
And he's big as shit
from the beginning.
So and they tried to design.
Yeah, we designed the
in a
chair
way.
differently because originally they were supposed to pull from the back part, but we found out it was a little easier for you from the other ways. So we had wheels on there, right? On
Yeah,
the thing.
it was way better than I imagined it was going to be.
So as you're about to go back into the other world and get away, Keith tackles Peacemaker,
Which
and
is awesome.
Seems to be about to kill him. When Eagly pops in, starts beating the shit out of him.
Sorry.
Yo, big Eagly, bro.
Oh, bring it up. Who broke the
okay.
chair?
First of all,
So funny.
this happened. So someone was not being safe.
Yes.
They switched out a chair that had been a regular chair
For a stunt chair.
for a stunt breakaway chair,
was scored.
and didn't tell
They didn't tell
anyone. And I looked at that and I was like, this is a problem.
I never knew this until
I was like, this is a breakaway chair, right? Because they're about to fly through this wall. And then Danielle comes in after I've already said
Let me tell you this too. I have a teacher in college. They said, you know, when you're working, you got to find moments of rest. So if you get a chance, sit down. Oh, so that rang in my head. What I go do? Sit down.
And the chair broke? Oh my God.
I mean, like comedy breaking.
like totally.
Yes.
It's built.
And she just sits there and she's like,
It's built
so
to instantly
confused.
break once you hit it because that's what it's
Yeah.
for.
Nobody told me.
I mean,
everybody was laughing.
The best was though.
But you were okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
The best was after that. Anytime someone was in that room and wanted to sit down, they would check they would check before they sat on something.
And I was like, it's one of those moments where you're like, of course this is happening to me. Out of all people, yes,
Yeah, that's right.
me.
Came out
Yep,
with it.
makes sense. That was a crazy night. That
Oh,
was so
okay.
funny.
So Eagly starts to protect him, and then all of a sudden, everybody piles on protecting their brother, Chris. Harcourt starts to strangle him. Vigilante starts to stab him. Even Economos and
We're all holding him down.
Adebayo are beating the shit out of him, and even Judo Master comes in and starts protecting Chris. And at that point, all of a sudden, there's
Such a raw,
sort of
emotional moment as
horrifying,
well.
terrifying moment where Peacemaker screams, a real guttural scream, and
For
says,
real.
"Please, please get off of him." And it's obvious that he's reliving this trauma
happened with
that
his
he
brother.
experienced
Yo.
when he was a child, where his
Crazy,
brother
bruh.
died. And he pushes everyone back, and he holds his brother, who hates him, in his arms. He says, "It's not my world that's wrong. It's not your world that's wrong. It's me." And he flashes through all the people that have died at
Damn.
his hands, and is in hell.
What made you want to do the episode, or gave you the idea of kind of the grass is greener on the other side and going into these worlds? What gave you that? Is that something you always wanted to do, play with?
I love high concepts like that. Like there's a book by Philip Roth called Counterlife that is, a literary novel about a guy who has another world, another life, and another version of himself. There's a book called Replay, which is a science fiction book, very good book, about a guy who he's riding the bicycle. He's about, late 50s or something. He's riding the bicycle down a suburban street, and the bicycle falls and everything goes black. He wakes up in blackness, and he feels, and he reaches over and he turns on the light, and he's 18 years old in his dorm room, and he just relives his whole life.
Whoa.
And then he dies again.
Same place.
And ends up in the same place, and he kind of keeps reliving his life, and you see.
Oh, shit.
it's
That
a
sounds
cool novel.
awesome,
It's also
actually.
kind of painful because he was in a bad place with his marriage, or he was divorced or something, and then he has a child, but he chooses not to marry the woman in the second life, which means he's saying no to his child existing. And it's like all these different choices he makes, and also kind of taking advantage of the other lives. So I've always loved those sorts of stories about alternate worlds. And we've seen a lot of, recent comic book multiverse stories, but it's never a specific, this is my life and this is my life in the other world. This is my world and there's this one specific other world. It's always like a million things are happening at once. But to me, that's not the fun thing about that premise. The fun thing is, when we walk in and we see Hannah and Rocks is spelled with 2 X's instead of CKS. But I also thought it was a great way, the innate sadness that we feel in the first episode, the immediate sadness that we feel when we see his brother, who we know the death of his brother has driven all of his choices in a pretty unhealthy way.
Damn,
and when
that's
he
so
sees
true.
his brother alive there for the first time, the emotion of all of that just seemed to be a really good engine for a series of television. And it seemed to be a way to have the show continue to be a science fiction show in the same way it is in season 1, but it's not the same. It's not like the horror science fiction. It's this magical science fiction that's more psychological in its space, more overtly psychological.
Yeah, I loved it when I read it. When I saw there was going to be 2 Harcourts and I was like, oh my God. Like, I just was like, this is going to be the coolest thing ever. Because as an audience member, I love that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you definitely executed so well.
And it makes it more fun, too, because we know the characters so well, because we had a previous
Literally not scared
8
to do
episodes of
multiverse in
television with these characters.
shows.
I made a trilogy of superheroes of Guardians of the Galaxy. People, love these heroes, and I do, too. I've totally fallen in love with them. Peacemaker, it's 2 seasons, 8 episodes apiece. That's a lot longer. And you really get to fall in love with these characters. You really, really love them. And it makes all of their moves, for me as a creator, but also as an audience member, it makes everything they do more potent,
Damn.
When, Judo Master and Leota are in there talking about their past. It's not like we're writing 2 characters we don't have any investment in.
Right.
We're writing 2 characters that well, one character that we love, one character that we're starting, that actually does have a lot of love out there. Judo Master has a lot of people that love him. But I think that we start to love him more because we're starting to learn more about him, and he's not a bad guy. He was never a bad guy because he, was trying to do the right thing in season 1. So anyway, that's really, and so that moment there with John is just terrific. Everybody reacts, and there is one final beat there, which for some reason is really intense to me, which is where Harcourt, after everybody runs out, Harcourt
she's like, give me the
asks
gun.
for Vigilante's gun, and not really ask, and she's just going to fucking execute Keith there on the floor, because she sees that there's a pretty good chance that
he's about to
Keith will come after Peacemaker.
He's 100%.
Yeah, she says, I can't have you coming after him, not us.
Not us.
Him.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's so awesome. Woo!
Chris, and it's this
everybody was
emotional
protecting my guy PM.
We've seen now that she has some amount of love for him.
The way that I view this moment is that she's willing to sacrifice his love for her to save him, because she knows. I think what's going through her head in that moment is, if I do this, he's never going to be able to forgive me. I know he will never forgive me.
But you think he will know, because I tend to think that Harcourt is the type of person
that will not say shit and keeps it to herself.
Will never say that she did it.
She will never say that she did it.
Saying that she did it.
So okay with never saying it.
I don't know.
But
yeah,
there was a witness.
Yeah, and I will say, in the original draft, she kills him.
Yeah.
I like the cliffhanger, though. I like being like...
I like... It's literally, we see the origin story of a new possible villain.
Yeah, I think that you can, in one way, the whole season is Captain America's origin as a supervillain. A white supremacist piece of shit supervillain. And we see at the end, we see that look in his eye, and we're like,
literally,
Captain Triumph.
Yeah.
It's also not dissimilar to Peacemaker's origin story, where it's like his brother is killed and his father is killed.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a cycle.
And
it's
what
a
supervillain to have as your archenemy is your brother from another dimension.
Really good.
You killed yourself.
That's so
who hate you because you killed yourself.
Really good.
Yo, that is such a crazy
is not
concept.
Smart enough to change that code on his door. So
not without your character.
So they come back to Earth 1. They walk out onto the lawn together. You said Steve was pulling some shit at night.
No, said it.
Danielle.
When is he not?
You said it, no?
Okay, so you know that scene when we're walking out, everyone's very serious. We're about to face off against Argus in that lineup. And so one after another, we were all in line. And right before
I am now remembering, I would hold you and keep you from being able to
he would
walk
push
out.
me across the room. I would scurry back.
because they wanted a specific sort of like rhythm of how we would land on our marks.
Yeah. And then Steve would like crack jokes, and everyone's like trying their hardest not to laugh, and like stone face walking
To be
out.
fair, it was a fucking long night. This was so late at night, and everyone was fucking upset.
I'm getting that this is a pattern here.
Trying to fucking get some levity.
Yeah, sorry, your life is so hard.
Not mine. I was totally fine. Noah was fucking like, can you believe we're here this fucking late?
Yeah, he's furious.
This is
That's
like-
right.
and Danielle was
That
like,
sounds like not.
Right, and
Danielle's
that's what
like,
prompted him to
that
push
sounds
me.
like, yeah.
Danielle's like, I should have been a fucking doctor. What am I fucking doing
Yeah.
here?
You know what? But I mean, it is another. I constantly get reports of you sabotaging
What?
your show. Yeah. I constantly get reports about you, like people doing emotional scenes, and all of a sudden they look over and you're filming them.
Yeah.
No,
And I think now.
Day one.
You remember the last day that I shot with you, we were doing the van.
Yeah.
And the camera was behind Steve's head onto me.
Yeah.
And I was doing the lines, and Steve was like scrunching his face.
Yeah.
And one take, I was like, Steve. And I broke, and then we had to redo it because that's what Steve was doing.
I got him back. It was
What?
one day.
Poor Nut comes in. He doesn't get to spend that much time with us. You know, he's becoming a more important part of the team maker.
No.
And you're trying to sabotage
Before
his
the
performance
season.
so that you look good.
Before the season.
I'm leaving.
Before the season, Noah was like, man,
That's
I see you guys in
crazy.
these blooper reels and they look so fucking fun. I would just want to laugh and be on camera in a blooper reel.
Well, I
and
got
I
some
said, I can
blooper
handle that.
Of you messing up your line.
Oh,
You remember
boy.
That?
Oh, yeah.
I
Episode
got
1
your
of season
ass.
2.
That's right. I got you in a hotel.
Deservedly so.
And I got you back.
And we
true.
should really share this.
Oh, yes.
Because
It's true.
I have never seen someone mess up a line so many times in a row. Like, just couldn't say it. What was the line?
He's explaining
I'm
marital
explaining
rate.
marital radar.
And a couple months ago, marital radar picked up an anomalous signal coming from his house.
And I had
That is
for
a
weeks,
hard sentence,
when
though.
I had downtime was because this is a big chunk of technical dialogue.
It's like 3 sentences.
No, of very technical shit that doesn't even exist. So it's like memorizing gibberish. And I was pretty good. And then we show up on set and I fuck it up the first time. And that was just like done. I also couldn't apologize to James enough. I was like, I'm so fucking sorry. I drove home texting him. I was like, James, I'm so fucking sorry about this.
So I'll get your revenge on a future podcast.
That's
Where I mock you
true.
for it.
But he was
Danielle?
also...
But Danielle was filming you in that
She was
scene?
filming.
Oh, she was filming and laughing, and it was like such sweet revenge from what he did to
fine.
her episode 1, season 1.
That's fine. I deserve it. But James knew I was fucking so embarrassed that, like, as soon as he had a cut of just that scene, he sent it to me.
It all ended up okay.
Also, coincidentally, earlier in that speech is the word surveillance. And I told you the story of my worst audition was for a producer session. I would walk into a room full of writers, director, producers. It's a callback. The word surveillance appears like 20 times in this audition. And I fucking was way off book for this. And my first sentence out of the line is, have you guys seen the surveillance vid?
No.
Sorry. Can I take, they're like, yeah. Have you guys seen the surveillance? Have you guys seen it? And they're like, just go on. It's okay. And that word is through the whole thing. Every time I came to it, I said surveillance.
Damn.
To the point where peripherally, I see fucking shoulders of everyone watching me laughing. And I finish, I go, I'm sorry. Thank you.
That's happened to me.
I walk out.
I walked out too.
I walk out the door, close the door, and as loud as I can, I yell, surveillance!
Oh.
And my whole walk to the car, I'm going, surveillance, surveillance, surveillance. And I get to this fucking scene, and the word surveillance is in it.
Oh my
and
God.
that might be what fucking set me
Trauma of
up.
that word for you is deep.
When did you walk out?
This was a Broadway
insane.
show, and I was auditioning. Same thing, suits just lined up.
That's
Didn't tell me,
crazy.
just call back, and same thing. I just could not remember any of the lines. I couldn't even when we did the music. I was so sharp. Like the girl was just fumbling, trying to make jokes to get through it, and I walked out to her and said, "I'm sorry. This is not my best work. I'm sorry," and I left. And everybody was, I don't know if they laughed at me, but
Oh, they were laughing at me.
everybody wrote me like the sweetest notes. The director, the casting, they wrote me the notes. It was like, "You're good, Danielle. This is," because it was early in my career too. It was just like,
I've had times when actors have just totally messed up and you know, and it just happens sometimes.
I texted my agent on the way home, and I said, you're going to get some feedback. And everything they say is absolutely true.
You know, Chris Pratt did
Everything
the screen
they
test
say
for
is
Guardians
true.
of the Galaxy after I had already auditioned him. I loved him in the role. He was perfect in his audition. And then he did the screen test when really my only job there is I'm directing him so that I can take the, show the film in a theater to everybody at Marvel and Disney and say, this is a guy I want to hire. That's my only job, is to get him, because I know he's the right guy. Oh my God, he was just hurting. He talks about it today because I went behind the scenes. We actually built the whole set and everything. I went behind the scenes with him, and I was like, this isn't good.
It happens.
You got to get it right, man. It's like I don't know what to say in that case. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a good director. Like I see other people. Sometimes actors get in their heads, and one of the things I say to them sometimes is, and this is different from this, is
This is going to sound more callous than
it's going to
is.
sound more callous than it is for sure. I say your feelings don't matter, because actors start to think that I'm feeling like it's bad. I'm feeling like it's bad. I can't get there. I can't get there. I'm like, no, you can get there. Just do the acting.
Yeah.
You're a trained actor. You've put years of your life into this. How you feel in this moment has nothing to do with how it's being projected towards a camera that's picking you up. So how you feel has nothing to do with
that. 100% applies to what my thing is.
Yeah, it does it?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
because you're one of my best friends, but when we're working, you're almost more like a father figure, and I fucking never want to let you down.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was like, oh my God, I am going to fuck this line up again. So even after we finish a take and we're about to do another, you'll be talking to me or you're talking, and in my head, I'm not even listening. I'm just saying the line over and over in my head.
Yeah.
Because our brains do that. Like it's like you can tell yourself it's not my feelings, but your brain is telling you otherwise. It's just telling you.
I know, but it's okay but that's also okay.
Yeah.
It's also okay that your brain is telling you otherwise. That's the thing. And I know this not partially because of acting, but mostly because of writing. It's like I sit down and some days I'm like, everything's magic. It feels great, Other days I sit down and I'm like, I fucking suck. This sucks. Oh my God, this is fucking terrible. The screenplay's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I understand what he's saying. It's a good
I have found that those things don't really matter that much.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go and I read the stuff that I wrote when I was telling myself I was awesome, and I'm like, this is shit.
But
and then other days I read stuff
The
that was.
difference, though, James, is that you can toss that away. Nobody ever has to see those things that you didn't like. When you're on that TV,
No, but a lot of times
we have no control.
But a
over
lot of
what y'all
times it's
use.
better when I'm talking shit to myself, because it doesn't. I mean, yes,
'Cause you
a lot
push
of times
yourself in a
there's a
different way.
correlation between how you feel and how it comes off, but a lot of times it really doesn't make that big a difference. And how many stories do you know about actors who went to auditions, thought that they bombed terribly, went home
so many.
sobbing, and then that
They
was
get the
their
call
magic
back,
hour.
Yeah, I think that's how I booked the show. Was I was ready to give up acting. This was my final audition before quitting, and so I just had fun and I didn't care at that point. And so we were talking about this before. It was that point of complete surrender. There's no
Surrender's
pretension, there's no guard. Like, let's just do it.
Damn, bro's about to give
the
up
episode
acting
ends
before becoming judo
with
master. That's
Peacemaker being arrested
crazy.
and taken off.
He hands over
We see Judo Master
He hands over the case.
go back to the dark side after being with the
Switching
light side
sides,
for a
yeah,
few moments.
yeah.
It's weird because I don't look at it as like a double cross. It's almost like a double agent
Yeah.
who's like,
I look at it like,
it's
like
better for us if he's in their good graces.
I also
has
don't.
to do that
Also,
in that
like he's
moment.
saving himself, and
Yeah.
in addition, he does the fucking right thing in a moment, which is really beautiful. I find it touching.
Yeah.
When Frank says to Judo Master,
Your take on it, Rip?
and he says, "Yeah," and so that means that you're allowing everyone
Like you're
else
sticking up for Peacemaker, and then
I remember
yeah.
It was one of the late night shoots, and we were there for a while. And I remember looking at each one of your faces because it felt like I sort of betrayed Adebayo, And I look over at Chris, and he's telling so much with his face.
Yeah, he's
John
like,
did such a
bro,
great job with that.
yo, for real.
Felt
He's like,
attached
it's
to him, and I
okay,
wanna
bro.
save him, but yet the best way to save him was agreeing to this.
Yeah. I also
Damn,
love
that's
moments
wild.
in which Eagly just thinks he's a part of the group. He's
Totally.
just Eagly in Eagly's brain. I'm just another guy. The group walks up and they're
Oh,
standing
shit,
facing
he is
against sort of
right
the bad guy group, and they're what I'm calling the Argus agents, and they're facing each other. And one of the guys is Eagly standing in that line. It's so funny.
Yeah, that is
Anyway,
so
we're
funny.
gonna see next episode. Oh my gosh, next episode I will say is definitely. I can guarantee it's the craziest, wildest, most insane, and wonderful episode of Peacemaker we've ever produced.
True.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for people to see it.
Oh, I'm ready.
And now, peace thoughts. Welcome back to another edition of Peace Thoughts, where I share my unfiltered thoughts on moments throughout the series. The gang goes in, tries to bring Chris back, and the plan fails. We learn a lot about the universe, and everybody ends up back at Blue Dragon's house, Robert Patrick. Robert's character, Augie, has the wherewithal and the
Augie
intelligence and the wisdom to gather everybody up to get to the truth. And Keith, my brother, you see him become unraveled. And you have one character who's hell-bent on this will fix it.
They fucking killed him!
And one wise character who is like, nothing changes it. So let's do right in this moment.
Revenge isn't going to bring your brother back.
Peacemaker's always wanted love in his life. He's always wanted a father. He now
Nothing
has
will
a
change.
dad who's virtuous and a dad who loves him and a dad who in a moment of question does the fucking right thing. And when is called out by Harcourt, Robert delivers an incredible monologue about like, dude, sometimes shit is bigger than one person. And as one person, I do the best I can every day to do what I can and do as good as I can. What do you do? Which is turning the mirror on somebody who called, like, you're this. Okay, well, what are you?
Yeah.
Because I try each day to be useful and good. Do you do the same to the person who can't talk about their emotions, whose life is a fucking train wreck, who goes into bars to get like it's super on so many levels. And then, of course, poor fucking vigilante doesn't know what's going on, sees the white dragon costume, and does what he should do. Like, this guy's bad for my best friend. I gotta fucking look out for him. Chris finally
everybody
has
is so locked,
a
like
taste of something, and it's taken away from him. And he has to watch his dad die again. And then they go into the study to go back into the other universe, and he pretty much watches his brother die in front of him again. And this is where the idea forms of like, the one common thread in all of this tragedy is me. And I'm the person who's keeping these people from living their best lives. I got to get the fuck out of here. Like, I fucked up 2 worlds now. It wasn't the world I was in. It wasn't the conditions that I was born in. It wasn't the environment. It
I
was
fucked
me.
up 2 worlds
That's it for this
now.
episode's Peace Thoughts. Back to you, James, Jen, and Steve.
That's crazy. That is such a bro. What a banger episode right there, yo. Honestly, I really like this show so much, and I cannot wait for next week when we partake in the season finale. So I hope you guys are ready for it, because I know I am. Like Michael said, Chris has to get out of prison in the season finale. Are we likely to see Keith come back? And then maybe Judo Master will help the 11th Street Kids in the season finale. Yeah, I think everybody will probably lock back in. I don't know about Keith showing up again just yet. If he does show up, maybe it's in the season. I mean, yeah, it's possible in the season finale we see that happen. But I just don't know what's going to be going on with this character specifically. So, but I'm ready to check it out and see what does happen next. So. But with all that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming through and chilling with me today while we watch Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 7. Next week, we will be back for Episode 8, which will be the season finale of Peacemaker. So I hope you guys are all ready for that. We'll be here bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 5:15 or 5:30 p.m. PST. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in with me today, and I hope to see you on the next one. With all that being said, stay awesome, stay nerdy, and don't forget to stay marvelous. Excelsior.
You guys like to support Marvel Bros? All you gotta do is visit our website at www.marvelbros.com and buy some merch. Represent Superfan.
Or you can join our Patreon to get early access to content, patron-only scoops, giveaways, private Q&As, and those sacred watch parties.
We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you later.
Excelsior.
On today's pop culture news update.